Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's your boy Max, aka Hair Guy Blondie, and I've kind of changed up the scenery. I filmed a video on that couch that you can kind of see right there, and I film videos in my room a lot, but I thought, you know what? Why not buy the coffee table? You can see that there. You see that there that says welcome. I made that all the way back in grade 7. Well, I made it with a group of other students back then, but I took a lot of pride in that one, and I ended up buying it, so I'm really proud of that. But I was thinking about what kind of video I wanted to do, like that I wanted to make today, and I, I was thinking, I was looking back at like some old videos that I've done, and I wanted to talk about my first real dating experience. Now, I'm someone who hasn't had any real experience dating. I had one experience, and that was back, it's 2025 now, so back in May of 2023. And I kind of want to share that with you all, and maybe you're someone who's in my shoes, um, who considers himself a loner, not really, someone who really, like, personally, I don't want to be in a romantic relationship at this very moment. I don't want to date anyone at this very moment. And my first real dating experience really gave me a good indicator of where I am in, like, kind of a mental kind of standpoint when it comes to dating, because it was something that I've always desperately craved, that I wanted to go out on a date or have a girlfriend. And it was a really obsessive thought for a lot of years. And back in high school, I didn't date anyone. I didn't, there was like a couple girls that liked me, and in my class. And you know, I just didn't really feel like I should have dated. And I'm happy I didn't, because in my classroom in particular, there was a lot of drama. So I'm kind of happy I didn't get involved with any girls. Um, but looking back, I was like, there was some moments where I was pretty desperate to get a girlfriend. And so how this starts off is that it is, I think the camera's moving. Every time I move, the coffee table is moving. I don't know what's going on. I think we're okay. But anyway, this story um, starts off back in like May of 2023. I was, on Facebook at the time, and I'm thankfully I don't I like permanently deleted my Instagram and Facebook. I just couldn't handle it anymore, so I have deleted both my accounts. But back in 2023, I still had Facebook, and I was on Facebook dating, and I'm just checking out who's coming up on my, you know, my matches. Who could I potentially match with? And I'm swiping, and I matched with this one girl. Um, so we start talking, and things are going pretty well. Just like over text, there's a good vibe, and it was weird. It was the first real time I actually felt somewhat confident, or somewhat actually like I somehow felt this amount of confidence all of a sudden, and I felt like I could be myself. And yes, it was over text, and we had like one FaceTime video, but we also, like, sent pictures of our faces. So, because you got to be careful with scammers or people pretending to be other people online. And so all was good there. And then we met up, and I did mention beforehand on text that I did have an intellectual disability, and I didn't use that in a way of like, oh, pity me, but I did say that in the fact that I was like just so you know, if I come across as someone who's having trouble understanding or complex information, or when we're getting to know each other, I just want you to know that. And she was all cool with it. I'm like, okay, cool. And anyway, we meet up. First date is my first actual date was a huge success, and I was really, really happy with it. And she lived outside of the city where I live, and she wanted to go back to her Airbnb, and and I didn't want to have sex. I wasn't really like, I didn't want to have sex on the first date, and that's primarily it. And I think a lot of guys will get sucked in and be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go back. But I didn't want to. And anyway, I ended up going home, and we ended up texting that night, this is where I would say everything went, like, did a big 380-degree turn the wrong way. Um, if I'm using that phase correctly, let me know in the comments, but that's how I'm going to put it. Just after that, everything just turned the wrong way. I feel like I was all these emotions that I was feeling for the first time, a girl actually liking me, getting my first kiss. There was a lot of emotions and a lot of just feelings that I was feeling mentally and physically in my body, and a lot of hormonal stuff going on that I felt like a 15, 16-year old hormonal boy almost. And I wasn't prepared for that. And I also feel like the lack of experience when it came to dating back in high school really showed that I was coming across as kind of more like a 16-year-old teenage boy who just, touched a boob for the first time. That's how it came across. And anyway, we met up the next day, and we drove around in her car, just around the city. We had Dairy Queen, and it was it was a really, and if you're a guy here, don't do what I did. Don't try to be sexual when the girl is not wanting to be sexual with you, because I wasn't trying to force myself onto her, but you know, I it, how I was viewing it, and this is partly the do with my intellectual disability, is that, oh, she was like really like, she was sending a lot of sexual innuendos on the first date. So the next day, I started, the next day we met up, I started to become a little bit more sexual with my, just, how I was touching and all that stuff. Anyway, it was like, she was allowing it, but she also didn't want to allow it, and it was really, really weird. It was really awkward. There was a moment when we stopped the car, where she stopped the car, and I was trying to explain what I wanted to explain, and I just, the best way I can put it, my intellectual, my challenges, my um, intellectual disability was definitely showing, and it was just a really, really bad, awkward second date. And we kept talking, and truthfully, this is on me. I got way too emotionally attached with talking to this girl over text for like a couple of weeks, and then meeting up for the first date. And like, I guess I wouldn't even call the second date a date. I would call it like date number 1.5. That's what I would call it. And it was really telling that I wasn't, like, everything that I was feeling emotionally, physically, it was a lot of stimulation for me with someone who's never felt that type of emotion before. So I it was really awkward. We kept driving around, and then she eventually dropped me off at my house, and then she went on her way, and we continued the text the next couple of days, I think the next week. And then now, guys, don't do what I did. um but I kept texting her and like over apologizing. I'm a very anxious, obsessive person, so not obsessive like in a bad way, but I have OCD, so I was like, I was just constantly apologizing, thinking that things were gonna be the best way I can describe it. Got too way got way too emotionally attached with this girl, and you know, we we ended up it got really just it was bad. And I made it worse with the constant over apologizing and texting. So when things were just ending, I it took me like a month or two to get over this girl because I was so emotionally devastated to have a girl like me, and I just felt like a complete failure, and which is why I was over apologizing. And anyway, we um, we we were friends on Facebook at the time as well. So we unfriended each other. Well, she unfriended me, I think, or did I? I think I did it as well. And we both just kind of like she blocked me, I blocked her, and I didn't hear anything. And then I made a video on TikTok um, when I did have I still do have TikTok, but I don't use it as much, and I now use it just to like shit. But when I was posting a lot on TikTok, I talked about my first real dating experience, and I actually got it. She had my number still, and she threatened me and blackmailed me, saying that I wasn't allowed to talk about my first real dating experience, and she was like sending threats to me, saying that she was going to send every text that we ever sent to each other, to my family, to my mom, dad, uncles, whoever she could find. And now I don't know if she was just using that to scare me because she didn't want me telling my point of view of the story, or my experience, how I was thinking through stuff. I don't know. I I honestly I feel like she did it just to scare me, and she felt like she had some sort of control over me because I really liked her, and I showed I didn't have a backbone, and I was really afraid, so I kind of like backed off and deleted the video. But now I'm talking about it on about this on YouTube because personally, like she really tried to blackmail me about everything, and you know, and truthfully, this is my fault. I got way too emotionally attached. Um, we followed each other on Facebook and Snapchat. I should have mentioned Snapchat as well. I don't have Snapchat anymore as well. Um, and anyway, she I saw I went. This is a classic example. You don't respond when you're feeling hurt, and she posted something on her story saying, "Oh, having a great day," and I took it personally, even though you shouldn't take something like that personally. I was just being an idiot, and it was a lack of maturity on my part, and I think it was a bit of both of lack of maturity. Her with trying to blackmail me, and me with me getting way too emotionally attached too quickly to a girl that I just met online. So, um, yeah, that's kind of like my story. I didn't. It was bad. Um, I did unblock her one day because I was like, okay, well, it's been like 8 months. I mean, we're both adults. I think we can grow up and go our separate ways. So I just unblocked her, and I just didn't really think anything of it. But I guess she was watching and I never tried to contact her ever again on Facebook. Um, she did unblock me on Snapchat or something. I forget. And I thought she wanted to reach back out. So I reached backed out to her on Snapchat, and she continued to try to threaten me, blackmail me. So I'm like, okay, and I called her out saying you're fucking crazy, and ever since then, dead silent. So that's my complex first real dating experience. Um, Now I take blame for what I did. I acted like, excuse me. I take complete blame for what I did. I acted immature. I acted kind of just really, really clingy, desperate. I was very, it was almost like attention seeking, almost. The over apologizing, um, the, my OCD took over me, my anxiety took over me, my hormones of feeling attraction for the first time and having a girl be attracted to me for the first time. It was all just all brand new experiences, and it was just, it was really, really bad. And I'm not gonna go into any other detail because it is slightly private, but I want to share just how quickly things escalated from 0 to 100 in like a month, really. And yeah, I just wanted to share this. So maybe you're someone, maybe you're a guy out here who's stumbled across this video and you have had the same experience. Let me know in the comments down below. Or maybe you're even a woman who stumbled upon this video and you watched this till the end and you're like, oh, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know, guys. I'm just, the last thing I would say is that when you're intellectually disabled and you're dating and you're dating someone who doesn't fully understand your challenges, and she did, looking back, she did think of me as just a quick hookup. She thought I was attractive enough to meet up, have sex for the night, and then leave and bounce. She didn't really want a relationship. So I'm maybe I think I did the mature thing by not sleeping with her that one night. The night we went out on that first date, because I think I would have regretted my decision based on how everything it transpired in the next week to 2 weeks. We kept communicating with each other, and anyway, more of the story is don't do what I did, because it makes you come off as desperate, clingy, kind of needy, really bad. And if a woman, especially if you're in your 20s, has a bad experience with you, then she's gonna tell every other girl she knows, and that's the way the world works. Guys are no different. I mean, I just did it to her because I had a bad experience. It was both bad experiences for both of us, and I mean, that happened a year and a half ago now. It will be 2 years in May of 2025. Um, I'm not. I looking back, I still kind of. I look back and see it as a learning experience, but I still kind of cringe about it. So anyway, that's my thing. I wanted to share this because for any guy who has had the same dating experience that I've had, then I'm with you guys. I'm here for you, brother. I don't know. That sounds stupid. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I've been learning how to play guitar. Look at this guitar. It's an amazing guitar. I'm holding it the wrong way, so I don't want to break it, but I've been learning guitar, or practicing, trying to learn it, trying to teach myself, I guess. But if you stumbled across this video, um, maybe consider hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, leaving a comment down below. Tell me about your worst dating experience, or just dating experiences in general, how they have been for you. Ever since then, I have just decided to stay away from dating and just, you know, um, improve myself and be a better version of myself. Anyway, guys, this video is really long, so I'm gonna go. You guys have a great day. Bye bye.